Folks, to
Oh,
Muck on the Market. So I am your host, Bob Lehman, and I have with me the Muckster. Muck, not much going on, a real kind of holiday week in the markets. Volume has been relatively non-existent. I really haven't traded much this week at all. I guess I took a couple of positions Monday that were really quick swings. I'm out of most of them. I have one or two still on the board. The only trade I posted today was I posted one in the last half hour. I just went, and really a very small position, but went long TVIX. I went long TVIX about 514. It's now trading almost about 521 right now. So, you know, it's kissing my sister. It's beer money. It's nothing to get excited about for sure. It looks to me holiday week type of trading. What are your thoughts?
yeah. Yeah, I think, holiday week. I know CME and everything is going to be closed on Friday. So there's not a lot of points. I did make a trade. I did pick up Dexter Fowler as my center fielder for my fantasy baseball team because he was on the waiver wire. So I think that's going to be a good trade right there. Hitting in front of that Cubs lineup, I think it's going to be good. That Cubs lineup's looking juicy.
Well, anybody that knows me or follows me on Twitter realizes that I am a lifelong hopeless Cubs fan. I stick with them and stick by them. I actually did, because I am an inveterate gambler. I actually did bet some money on the Cubs to win. At the time, I put a very small wager, but it'll pay handsomely if it comes in. It has since dropped. It was as low as 400. I saw it. I think it's at 450 right now. Although with each year going down for it looks like about 3 months, the Dodgers have a little bit of trouble. Although they're heavy in the outfield.
Yeah, they're heavy in the outfield.
Anyway, let's talk. Let's talk a little stocks or equity.
Yeah, let's talk some equity. And Cat's been a real winner for us lately. I'll tell you that much. We're always working with the. We kind of have a philosophy. Can you hold on?
I can hear you now.
We have the philosophy that anytime Cat's below 70, we like to buy it, and anytime Cat gets above 90 to 100, we're selling it. So we average it into a nice position around 65, looking to sell at about 95, and just kind of rolling.
I'm not notoriously a Cat follower, but I just kind of occasionally keep my eye on it. But I thought I read something today, as a matter of fact, that the dividend as currently set forward was imperiled. Is that the case? Maybe you know what it was? It was some item that said that they were stopping their stock buybacks. And the thought was, at least by this person that posted it, and I didn't double check it at all, was that it was to give them more cash to pay the current dividend. But their view was, does this mean the dividend's imperiled? I don't know. I haven't done the research on it. I can't really speak to it. I just merely mentioned.
I don't know why their dividend would be imperiled since they've never not paid their dividend. And they've been in way worse economic situations than they are in now, and they've still paid the dividend. But that's generally the trade. I mean, my father's done it forever, and it seems just pick up Cat whenever it goes below 70. You sell it when it gets to 90. Start selling when it gets to 90. Get out by 100, and then you just wait 2 to 3 years, wait for it to come back down again. It really runs in. It's a very secular company. And
I hope
just do it. It works.
I hope that people watching this aren't experiencing the same glitches I'm getting on my end, because I keep seeing it locking up, and only when you're I have no idea what the problem is, but anyway. All right, let's go on. So, Cat, you kind of talking level, buy in the 70s, low 70s.
No, like anytime it breaks 70, so you're looking like 60s. You know, in between that 69 and lower, and then you sell it out when it gets, start selling when it gets above 90, so like 91 and higher, and get flat by 100.
Okay. All right.
Still on some Fitbit. Actually made some money on Fitbit the other day, and now Fitbit cracked the 15, and now it's back down below 15. So
I know Chess Trades has been following that pretty carefully too. Again, it's not one made frequently on the uptick. It is a heavily shorted stock, as one might expect, and it did have a significant short squeeze, but I guess it did reverse today pretty significantly. I mean, are you in it?
Well, I think, but
you like it long term, don't you, Muck?
I do like it long term. I think it gets around 20. I think it gets around 20, and I think if someone's smart, it'd be acquired by like a Under Armour, Nike. I mean, Apple could do it, but I don't really see Apple doing anything that's unique right now. I mean, I think it'd be smart because Fitbit has their kind of like everyone who has it, right, has their own community where you compete against each other, but you instantly buy all that community, and then you can put that product into other things. Like you can put it, like Nike has a thing where they put it in their soccer cleats where you can track your stuff, but now you can link it with your Fitbit. I think it's a good candidate for someone to buy out if they want cheap technology.
Well, you mentioned two companies. Nike had earnings recently. I think missed on the revenue line, exceeded expectations.
Missed on sales.
Missed on sales. I thought earnings. I thought met. Maybe I'm mistaken. They initially had a pop up after hours. They announced after hours. Then they kind of sold off. I heard somebody opine, and I'm merely a tourist in these two items. That Under Armour is really starting to go after high tech athletic gear.
It is.
I don't know anything about it.
It is. Very much so. We're not involved in Nike at all, but we are involved in Under Armour. I think Under Armour has more growth. I think Under Armour is going to more into if you wear a shirt, the shirt will track your heartbeat. The shirt will track your body temperature. You can track. They're just kind of going into more of that stuff where people who really, especially athletes and some of that, or even people who, play recreational athletes, right? I'm not an athlete, but I just play one on TV. They really want to track how they're doing when they play sports. And I think that's the new thing, because you want to make changes. You always want to be at your peak potential. I think Under Armour is really trying to get on that, to let athletes, be able to track their stuff, pull it up on a computer after a game, plug your shirt in to your USB or something like that, and find out, are you doing what you need to do optimally?
Yeah, I mean, frankly, I've always been interested in that particular area. As you may know, I was a runner in a former life, and of course, then that was the advent of kind of digital running watches and workout watches. So you just regularly timed yourself and stuff. Then of course, shortly thereafter, they went to having heart rate controls on treadmills and such. And I always found it to be a useful tool. So I think even as you say, for the amateur athlete or for the weekend warrior, it does have some attraction, because I think that the technology is such that they can bring it in at a very attractive price.
Yeah, you're running back in the day when that dude was still making those things on his wife's waffle iron, right? Like, because you're old.
Just shortly thereafter, Muck. Shortly thereafter. Have 15 or 20 years, something like that. But anyway, let's keep moving on.
You want to talk about one of my favorite positions, and I do have to mention, this is a very illiquid stock, a very cheap stock, but it's one of my favorite stocks. My favorite. I think of any company on the planet, it's my favorite company on the planet, and that is my good old Jones's Soda Company.
Jones Soda. God, I haven't heard you talk about that forever.
JSDA is putting on. If you want to talk about stealth rallies, people, pull up the chart of Jones's Soda over this year, and that is a epic rally.
Is that all they have? Is that all they make? Is that their only product? I mean, I'm familiar.
No, I mean, they make the soda, right? And then they make, they make shirts and stuff like that. And you can buy the soda from the website now. So they'll ship it out to you.
Yeah, that's because they have no retail distribution to speak of, other than the East Coast. And
that is not true. That is not true. You can get them at Bevmo. You can get them at Total Wines, at Beverages and More, Total Wines and Spirit. Liquor.
Those are decidedly Southern California companies.
No, Total Wines is everywhere. They're big box liquor outlets.
I've never seen one. I've lived in New Jersey, Kansas, and now the beautiful state of Tennessee. Now,
you've never seen a Beverages and More.
And also, I grew up in Chicago. I've never seen one of these.
Bevmo's in Chicago.
All right, well, put that on your list and do some more research on that particular entity. Let's bring that. Hey, let's talk about some good news, Muck.
Hold on. Jones's Soda just signed a deal with 7-Eleven. Have you heard of 7-Eleven?
I have heard of 7-Eleven.
Yes, they signed a deal with 7-Eleven to put out 4 brand new sodas, and they're only 7-Eleven available. And I just tried to.
Can I get them in a big gulp or a super big gulp?
You get them in the bottle, in a plastic bottle. I just tried the Berry Blast. It was amazing.
You're the only guy I know that still drinks soda.
They're $1.29. It's pure cane sugar, so none of that fake stuff. It's so good. But yes, what would you like to talk about? Would you like to talk about how my apple is beating your brains in? We can talk about that.
Muck, we've been through this. I told you when I was short. I told you when I got out. I made money on the trade, as you well know. I haven't touched it since, although I was told by a little birdie today, and that's one of the reasons I got in the VIX short, or the VIX long rather. Was that Apple was in trouble, looking at maybe break in 106.10, and the thought was that might cascade the market down. I mean, the market just hasn't moved. There's just nobody trading at this point. I mean, there are some. If you look at Ford and GM, they are showing a lot of weakness. But I'm not too excited. Let's talk about. The only equities I've now owned for 4 months, and I'm up 13% in one and 12% and a half in the other, is Walmart and ExxonMobil. The old diehards.
Well, I mean, it's funny, as we've been talking, like half of one of my lists just turned, like, it was almost all of it was down, and then half the stocks just flipped from being down to being, to being up. I think that was kind of cool. But I mean, I think it's weird. The first quarter is about to come to an end, and a lot of companies are going ex-dividend. Mm-hmm. So I think you're seeing selling pressure on that end, because just on my watch list, I got MA. I have MA going ex-dividend. I have CL. I have EMC. I have a lot of REITs are going ex-dividend. UBS, Dow, ABT, Monsanto, JP Morgan.
Visa.
Visa is going ex-dividend on 4.6. So, soon. Costco, Bristol Myers, Lowe's, Medtronics. I mean, you're getting Oracle. Half my watch list is going ex-dividend within what's the 4.6. Yeah, they're all going 4.6 the latest, with General Dynamics. Comcast is 4.4. CVS. I mean, you're getting a big number of guys who are going ex-dividend, which is going to put selling pressure on.
I would say so. I mean, I think you have definitely seen a move. that's driven by big hedge funds, by big players, to move out of certain issues. I mean, whether it's healthcare, whether it's the biotech industry. I mean, not insignificant moves. I saw earlier, and I was only looking at it earlier. I took a break and walked the dogs and just jerked around, had lunch. But IWM was having problems. By the way, we are hitting new lows on both the ES and the Dow right now. Or I'm sorry, not the Dow, but the Nasdaq.
Well, that's because Apple just broke that 10 number that you cared about.
Yep, 106.05. I have it.
Yep.
So anyway, well, what I mean, I have to tell you, I am very reticent to get long any other thing at this point. That's why I've just kind of been putting my my hands in my pockets and just sitting tight. I really haven't been doing a whole lot. I'm reading a really lousy book. I strongly advise anybody that was thinking about buying Michael Hayden's book to not buy it, not waste their time. I have now wasted hours, and I still have 150 pages to go. I'm so pissed off. It's the longest it's taken me to read a book in about 15 years.
What's it called? I don't even know who that is.
Michael Hayden was the former director of the NSA and also of the CIA. He's a bright guy, smart guy, but this is more about him score settling and telling everybody why he was right. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think the guy's a dummy by any stretch of the imagination. It's just not my cup of tea. It's not compelling. Again, I strongly advise anybody thinking of buying it, because it is available in Costco still, and it's at, of course, Barnes & Noble. I wouldn't buy it. Please don't. I'll send it to you, for Christ's sake, when I'm done.
Let's see. What was I going to say? I did finish a great book. It was, I do believe Fat Finger was talking about it. It's the book written about the guy who used to work for Jim Cramer. In Kramer & Co. I couldn't put that book down. It's maybe about 500 pages. That big hard copy blew my mind. Such a good book. You can't put that book down. It just shows, it shows all the sides of Jim Cramer, I guess.
How long ago was it written, Muck? Out of curiosity.
Around before Kramer.
When he was still at the hedge fund.
Yeah, it was written during the time that he was at the hedge fund, and about all the stuff that happened at the hedge fund. So it doesn't really talk about the CNBC stuff, but that's when it was written.
Interesting. Well, I mean, I don't think Jim Cramer is a bad guy. I just think listening to him is a fool's errand. It is an absolute waste of time. I'm over 3 years CNBC free. I don't have to get irritated by Joe Kiernan in the morning anymore and his ridiculous crap. I don't have to watch that Simon guy, Simon Hobbs, and I don't have to watch the Grand Princess of International Affairs for CNBC, MCC. It's just, to me, it's absolute noise. It's absolute noise. But
I don't have Bloomberg. I have to pay extra for Bloomberg. So I do keep CNBC on at my house occasionally.
You can get Bloomberg on your computer. I see like somebody just entered into this room.
I know. Who'd you let in?
I didn't let anybody in. But he is on mute. Bertram, I don't know who you are. Anyway, Muck, what about WWE? What the hell's that thing doing? That dog. I did see somebody went coverage on it and said it was going to go over 20, which I think is what you said.
Yeah, I know. Great minds think alike. We're kind of holding at 17 right now. There was a little rally on, but I mean, I think we're holding. We're holding for the WrestleMania numbers, and WrestleMania is on April
9th.
No, April the 3rd.
Oh, I knew it was coming up here soon. I ain't believe me. I've got the whole week just cordoned off just for that.
That's good. I mean, I'm excited. I know Muspet is really excited. There's a lot of us that are really excited for things to come. I don't know. I'm thinking it could be huge. They're already saying that they've already sold over 100,000 tickets in Jerry's World, which would make it one of the biggest events of all time. So
I'm looking to, by the way, I'm looking to unload my half my VIX here soon. I've already made money. I've already paid for dinner tonight and tomorrow. So I did something useful.
Well, that's always good.
Anyway, so give me some levels on Jones Soda before we go.
If levels as hold on, let me bring it up.
Where do you like to buy it? Where would you sell it?
I'm not looking to even touch selling it until it gets over $1.41. I'm definitely probably buying some more shares at $1 if it gets there. If it falls down and collapses, I'm definitely probably buying some around 50 cents a share. We'll see. Right now, I think it's it's almost gone perfect. So I think we're just gonna let this rally go and see how high it can get right now.
So this guy was Bertram Guilfoyle. I have no idea who the hell he is. Anyway, all right. Well, Muck, let's. You said you wanted to do another one this week. I am generally free. I should be around because I'm not doing goddamn much trading. That's for darn sure. This week I expect nothing. We are closed. The markets are closed. Is the bond market closed on Friday too? Or the bonds?
Yeah, I think all of CME is closed on Friday. So
I know that there is some data coming out Friday morning though, government data. I don't.
Awesome. I'm assuming it's going to be really, really horrible.
Yeah, probably.
Stick the horrible news on a Friday when no one can do anything.
All right. Well, Muck, thanks for joining me. We'll keep an eye on CAT, Fitbit, which again I think it's just a short squeeze right now. You like Under Armour at some point, and JSDA, Jones Soda, go go go! The only guy drinking carbonated soda, sody pop in America, Muckster. Thank you so much for joining us, folks. Have a great day. Toodaloo.